already a huge call, down 6-0. Desert Edge, I believe, scored in 2 plays on that first, 3 plays on that first series, on that first drive. Hardly want to punt back, but you are deep in your territory here. Good timeout call. Let's see what they do.
8:50 to go, opening quarter on a balmy night here in Goodyear. And when you're thinking and you're watching this game from around the great state 48, perhaps you're watching it globally from somewhere, yeah, it's still quite warm here in the Valley of the Sun. And we're also dealing with some humidity. But we won't see that glimmer of hope with the temperatures dropping until somewhere near Halloween, Cody, so we've got some time.
104 degrees at kickoff in week 3, week 4 for small schools around the state. But once we get that first 80-degree night, Kev, it is feeling pretty good.
We're looking forward to it. All right, Rocco Mortensen will remain in at quarterback, and he's going to take this one under center. He has 3 backs to work with. The ball's been put on the turf, and now there is a fight for the football down on this natural grass setting. I don't believe the ball carrier got a clean exchange, Cody, but I believe that they had a favorable bounce and maybe not. No, they did.
Yep, it looks like he recovered his own fumble there. Got first down, Camelback. It's a gutsy call, Kevin. It works out. First 4th down call.
Okay, we'll hold the phone here. The fumble worked in the advantage of the Spartans. So it looked like they might have been denied initially, but as the ball carrier fell forward onto the football, it was enough to move the chains. And for Coach McNutt, they're now 1 for 1 on 4th down here tonight, Cody.
I got the sense of our pregame meeting with Coach McNutt. He might do that most 4th downs. I think he's a gutsy coach who's going to go for it all. But his kids seem to have a lot of fun playing for him and his staff. As you can see, the morale is high for Camelback High School.
Very much so. Footloose and fancy-free. No doubt about it. Again, Rocco in at quarterback. Takes the shotgun snap. Here comes the pressure from the outside. And he is going to go down. He gets sacked. Rocco gets sacked by Deshaun Warner as he comes up swinging for the fences on the big home run hit.
Got 3 stars next to Deshaun Warner's name in my pregame notes, Kevin. 3 stars mean you're an absolute baller. Deshaun Warner, he's fast, he's physical, his wingspan's huge, long arms, and he is a havoc creator in the backfield, especially for quarterbacks. He had a heck of an offseason, committed to Kansas, got it out of the way before the season started, and Coach, the Carter brothers said he is solely focused on being the leader of this team and being one of the best players in the state of Arizona.
Why not? 53 tackles last year. He also had double digits in TFLs with 12 and just 1 shy of 10 on the sack department. So 9 sacks for him. How about another sack this year? He's started off this year with a bang. Deshaun Warner getting after the quarterback. A loss of 12, 2nd and 22 for Rocco. A blitz coming again, and he's got nowhere to go. He gets sacked on the 1-yard line. This time with the pass rush was Jonathan Kamara. The outside linebacker came in unabated to the quarterback and put a lick on Rocco Mortensen.
Double KU there with Deshaun coming from the outside. That's what makes this Desert Edge front 7 so special. You got Kamara and you got Warner. Both have great length. Both have tremendous speed off the snap, attacking the quarterback every single play. And it's a huge sack for the Desert Edge defense.
First sack of the year for Kamara, and just for good measure for Deshaun Warner, sack number 3 for him on this young season. 3rd down and a cab ride. 3rd down and 36 for Rocco Mortensen on his own 1-yard line. They're going to have to protect the football here. Pereira is the deep back. Out of the pistol for Rocco. Snap back. Puts the ball in the hands of Pereira. Here comes the rush. I don't know if he got out of the end zone. And I believe we're going to get a safety call. The head linesman has indicated that is indeed a safety. For Desert Edge, out of the secondary, Joshua Hoppus.
Yeah, Hoppus came in clean. It looked like the mesh exchange for Camelback was messed up already. Come in and blows that play up. And that's a heck of a stand, heck of a series by the Desert Edge Scorpions defense, giving up a first down on 4th down, and then going back-to-back sacks, and then landing the safety to end the series.
Joshua Hoppus, a middle linebacker, 6 foot 205, just a junior, all-region a year ago. Honorable mention in the 5A conference. That says an awful lot I think it's one thing to be an all-region performer, and you certainly appreciate those accolades. But if you're honorable mention in the all-conference category, that's saying something.
Means you're one of the best.
Yeah.
And they've returned some absolute studs. You had the feeling in the preseason polls that this was the Desert Edge team. If there was a Desert Edge team to win a 5A title or make the Open and create some noise, it was going to be this roster. Their combination of talent in the 2024 class and the 2025 class is pretty special. The Carter brothers knew it, Kev, and they're putting on a show out here tonight on Thursday Night Football.
They really know what they're doing, the Carter boys. There's no question about that. They have that idea and that strong mind on how to turn around and rebuild the program. They've done it at multiple locations, including South Mountain, which is not an easy place to win football games at, and they're doing out here in the 6-2-3 for Desert Edge. And it's
very effective 3 offensive plays in that first series. But I agree with you. We talk about the players having a happy morale in this Camelback program. I think with Coach McDonough, he's laid back. He's a player's coach, but he lets his kids enjoy the game and have fun. We're going to see onside kicks. We're going to see them going for 4th down. They've played really well for 2 weeks, and they're gonna go all out here, Kevin.
They're playing with that Madden-type mindset, right? All right, Millender back to work. It's Buddha. Takes the high snap. Looks left, surveys. Here comes a penalty flag. Skips by a defender. Drops off a pass, and running down the sideline for Desert Edge is Aaron Thomas. And we've been watching a little Thursday Night Football in the league, in the NFL, watching Patrick Mahomes dodge and bob and weave, and we saw a little bit of Millender right there, bobbing and weaving and then dropping off a pass in the flat. That was really an improbable play.
Yeah, I watched Buddha twice last year, Kevin, and at times he played like a sophomore, had some learning pains, especially when Desert Edge, they had a tough schedule last season, had to play up and play some of those 6A teams. The game has slowed down for him, okay? And so I'm watching a player with confidence, and he had a huge offseason. All these kids at Desert Edge are multi-sport athletes, and his height, he's standing tall in the pocket with poise, and I'm looking forward to put on a show tonight.
4 wide receiver package for Millender. He's got 3 wide receivers to the wide side. Shotgun snap, they go to Thomas, and he gets cut down to the backfield. What a defensive play by the Spartans. Shooting the A-gap was Siopo Pulu, and Pulu right there on an A-gap blitz with a TFL.
Yeah, that's a heck of a play by Pulu. Eludes the guard working to the second level, shoots the gap, and just hammers the Desert Edge running back for a new gain. That is a great play by the senior linebacker.
2nd and 20 from the 44-yard line. Shotgun snap, looking this way, firing and completing a pass out to Darius Luvera. Luvera, quite a target. 6'1", 200-pound senior, makes the reception here before a trio of white shirts there are there to take out the defender, the offensive player.
Yeah, when you go down the list of this Desert Edge team, the stuff that stands out is just the size. And when you talk to coaches around the state of Arizona, they're always complimenting the size and the strength. And the Carter brothers this offseason, they really emphasize weight room. Emphasize weight room big time. You see a lot of their kids, they spiked up 10 to 15 pounds in weight. They have some big-time receivers out here, Kevin.
3rd down and 16 and a 4 wide receiver package. Ball spotted on the near hash just inside midfield. And now we're going to get movement up front on the line for Desert Edge. That call coming from the line judge. And that's a procedure penalty, and that's going to put Desert Edge back even further, another 5 yards.
I'm impressed with the Camelback defense on this series here, Kevin. They're doing a good job. I mean, Desert Edge shooting themselves in the foot with a couple of penalties, but Camelback kind of staying home. They give up a couple deep bombs, and they weren't gap disciplined the first series here. They are showing discipline, and they're making tackles, and it's putting Desert Edge in the 3rd and forever.
Edge again with 4 wide receivers. There goes Dia Johnson in motion. Snap is back from Millender. He's got some time from the pocket. Deep ball down the middle of the field, and he's got Dia Johnson there, and he dropped the football. Oh, heartbreaker here in Goodyear. And you talk about throwing a dime, Cody. That ball was on the money.
Hit him in the worst spot, though, Kevin. Right in the hands. Tough break for Dia Johnson. Kez, I think he's still one of the best playmakers in all of 5A. That is a heck of a throw by Buddha. Put it right on the money. Staying back, what I was really impressed with Buddha, there was pressure coming from his right side, right in front of his face, stood tall, and delivered an absolute strike to Kezion Johnson. Tough break for Desert Edge.
It's just interesting to watch the big fella, 1-5 out there. When you look at Deshaun Warner as he takes that stroll onto the field to punt the football away. And for Deshaun Warner, you will wait till he arrives. That's just how it's going to be for the KU standout, or the soon-to-be KU standout, right? We're getting ahead of ourselves here. Just a moment. And who doesn't want to get ahead to Saturdays? Snap back for Warner, surveys, and he'll finally just boot it away. The safety for Desert Edge, getting that 2-point conversion back almost.
Yeah, if Camelback's going to be in this football game, they have to block the edge rushers. Hard to do. Jonathan Kamara and Deshaun Warner, two of the longest players in all of 5A, and violent off the snap, have to put bodies, maybe max protection, those guys, for Rocco and this Camelback offense to be successful.
The left tackle for the Spartans is Jose Madison. He looks like he is a dude. The Mortensen pass to the outside. He's trying to put the ball in the hands of, it looked like a receiver in this case. We'll go with Nathan Wingfield. Started that out of the flat, incomplete pass. Clock stops with 3:59 to go, 8-0. Starting this drive, Rocco Mortensen is working from the 11-yard line. And you look at a couple of the wide receivers he has to work with. Cayman Knight is a standout talent as well. And Jalen Gillis off to a very quick start for the Spartans offense.
And the name you just called too, Nate Wingfield, all three of those players are big playmaking abilities. They showcased those the first 2 weeks in the game against Cactus Shadows and Notre Dame Prep. So Mortensen definitely has some weapons in his arsenal.
4 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Mortensen under pressure. He throws. He just lets it go. The ball is a jump ball, and the ball is incomplete. Leaping in the air to try to make a play on that ball. The high point was Jalen Gillis. And pretty good coverage on the backside for DE. That was just a jump ball on really with pressure on his backside. Mortensen delivered a pretty good ball. Ball that may have, you couldn't make the case, should have been caught.
Very impressive by Mortensen there, rolling right, and it was the KU commit, Jonathan Kamara, humming down his backside there and just drilling him as he released the football. But like you mentioned, great job by Mortensen, making it a catchable ball.
Great play there. 3rd down at 10 from the Spartan 11. Pereira is the deep back as they break the huddle. Now lining up to the near side is Aiken Logan, a Metro Region second teamer. Has single coverage if they want to go this way. This is a play fake. Here comes the pressure, and Mortensen's going to unload the football on a backside wide receiver screen, and there's not a lot of room to roam there at all. Great pursuit to the football by Julian Gregory and friends.
Yeah, Deshaun Warner is everywhere, and we're going to get a nice replay here of the tackle from the Desert Edge secondary. But Deshaun Warner and Jonathan Kamara are almost untouched, getting a nice path to the quarterback. They have at least 4 to 5 quarterback hits in the first quarter of this football game. Kevin, Camelback's tackles have to get a body on those 2 edge rushers, or it's going to be a very long night for the Spartans offense.
A chip, a clip, something, a shirt sleeve, anything they can. From his own end zone, getting rid of it, punting it to Gibson. Gibson from his own 50. And it's going to take a Spartan hop, and there will be no return for Andre Gibson. And for Coach McNutt, you'll take that. And once again for DE, they'll begin this drive, their 3rd series of the night. On the other side of the field, they'll begin this drive in Camelback territory, up 8-0 with 2:56 to go. Here comes Buddha one more time to lead this offense.
I would call that best case scenario for the Camelback special teams, Kevin. It looked like when Andre was coming off the field, he was telling coaches, hey, I couldn't see it, got it lost in the lights, and it punted it right to him pretty much, and there was some running room for the Kansas commit.
There was. He had some space. 3 wide receivers to the wide side, a single set on the far side. Melender wants to throw on the one. He does, and the ball is caught. And moving up the sideline and taking the ball towards the 30-yard line for DEs. This is Julian Montsavalles. Montsavalles, a 5'7", 165-pound sophomore baller. This guy has true speed.
So this is one of the triple option RPO schemes here, where you got a quarterback run, and you could pull it, and as Buddha goes towards the line of scrimmage, he could roll out either way, he could stay in the pocket. They have a flank out screen. That's exactly what that was. Looks like we have a legal man downfield.
That's the 2nd time tonight, Cody. So that will negate a 19-yard pass play to Montsavalles. And with 2:48 to go in the opening stanza and an 8-0 ball game, the Spartans are going to decline the penalty.
Now, I believe they're waving it off. I think they're waving it off.
Oh, they just picked it up the flag?
Yep.
Okay. We did not see the officials get together, but the white hat official has indicated they're going to wave off the foul, and that will allow the play to stand up. So Montevallez is now on the ledger. And another nice play there by Buddha to put the ball in his hands and let him make a play after that.
Yeah, you just tell with this offense, the offensive scheme is going to revolve around Buddha here.
From the 26-yard line out of the pistol formation, back deep is Aaron Thomas. Montevallez in the slot to the right. Rivera is the receiver. And a nice little hole there by Thomas. Just a little counter right in there, running at an angle and running with some power. Nice run by the Scorpions. Again, it's Aaron Thomas running with his head down, but that little crease, just enough he needed, Cody, and he picked up 5 yards.
Yeah, Thomas is a Saguaro transfer from last year, missed the first 5 games, and I believe on his second carry of the season last year, Kevin, he snapped his arm. So the Carter brothers challenged him this offseason to not only get tougher but put on some weight. He did that. He ran track. Phenomenal first 2 weeks. And you just show the patience that he's running with. But when he sees hole, he is just bursting right through north to south runner. Good to see from the junior tailback.
4 wide receiver package again. Quads in some formation if you like it. This is Melander to scramble. Penalty marker coming to the backside. A little shake and bake to the outside, and turning it up the field is Buddha. And we'll see what the penalty is all about. The flag was thrown around the 34-yard line. Here comes the preliminary indication from our white hat official. And now another flag comes from the far side of the field. So double infractions here. We'll see what these are all about. And that prelim indication is holding against Desert Edge. And so this will come back. One of the things that you and I talked about pregame, Cody, was just the fact that for Desert Edge, they would like to start faster in some of these games, and they just want to clean up some of the little things, the mistakes. And what we've seen here in this first quarter, 3, maybe 4 penalties now, those are the mistakes that the Carters are referring to.
Yeah, what the Carters were telling us, too, is just, hey, we're a young football team in terms of experience. We graduated some key spots. We do have depth. They have knowledge. We have depth. They have some players that aren't ready to go till week 6 because of transferring that is going to tremendously help them. But the young offensive linemen, when they played Centennial, who's a top 8 team in the state of Arizona,
yes, sir,
they had 4 offensive linemen who had not started a football game yet. And when you go to Centennial's house, that could be intimidating. But they played well, especially through the first half and 3 quarters. Defensively, they were phenomenal. Went toe for toe with Centennial's offense. It just said offensive line-wise, time to grow up. Got to play physical and can't make mistakes. Kind of showing that little inexperience here on this drive.
A little bit. But, you know, you begin that game against Centennial and put your feet to the fire right away. And you're able to learn an awful lot about your team when you face a Richard Taylor-led team like that. All right, 4 wide receivers again here for Buddha. The deep back is Aaron Thomas working out of the pistol. They fake it to Montevallez, looking upfield. Rivera's there, and the ball is incomplete. Opening 12. Lining up near side is Kezion Dia-Johnson. 3 wide receiver package here for Buddha. There goes Johnson, motion to the far side. He's just going to stop and reload. 3 wide receivers this way now. Now it's Kwanzaa left. This is a direct run for Melender. Makes a nice move. He's into the secondary, down the sideline, and he'll stay on his feet and pick up big-time yardage. Almost 35 yards unofficially for Melender, but using that line of scrimmage, got to the edge and showed that speed, Cody.
Hey, he's 6'3", 195 pounds. He is a tough football player to bring down, and I love the play call, especially in the trips bunch formation, having all the lead blockers, and still Buddha's running through tacklers, keeping his feet moving, showing the dual threat ability from the junior quarterback.
Gain of 22, 4th down and 8. Ball is spotted on the 25-yard line. The Carters will go for it here. There goes Montevallez in motion to the near side. 2 wide receivers tight end in the slot. And there's the tight end making the reception over the middle of the field, and he's got the 1st down and more. Great target for the big fellow over the middle, Victor Chavez, his first catch of the night on his first target. And you talk about a strike from Buddha. That was a perfect from the 7. Millender wants to throw. His pass outside is caught by Montevallez, and he's going to be dropped immediately. 2 tacklers there to knock him out of bounds. And one of those guys for the Spartans is Dontre Gamage. 6 foot 150, a junior. We saw a lot of size on the field when we talked with Coach McNutt, and there's another guy that plays with that kind of size.
Not only just size, but the numbers. He said when he came to Camelback High School a couple years ago, and remember, this was a program that suffered through COVID. You know, they weren't able to do a lot of stuff. He said, hey, our numbers have doubled, and not just in terms of the strength of our kids. We got depth behind him now. He was pretty excited to speak about his Camelback program.
No doubt about it. Second and goal from the 4. This will be Dia Johnson on that pitch pass, and he's going to just waltz into the end zone untouched for a touchdown. What a pretty play. Let's see if it holds up. Penalty marker back on the 7-yard line, and it looks as though that the Scorpions' Aaron Thomas doesn't agree with the call, but let's see what the official has to say.
Yeah, I think they had 2 guys in motion there. That's a heck of a misdirection play call, though, by the Carter brothers, especially getting the ball into the hands of your best playmaker, and the entire defense sucked over there going for the outside zone pitch, and Thomas sneaks back around. We used to call that in wing T in a scrum form. It's almost crisscross counter, but it's much wider and much more speed.
Yeah, a ton of speed to the edge, and you can see that Kezion Dia Johnson has a little Hollywood in his game. He's got a little Flavor Flav. I like it. A little styling and profiling on that touchdown run that will be removed from the board. So take off the first rushing touchdown of the year for Dia Johnson. They'll move him back, and now the ball will be spotted on the 9-yard line. Second and goal, that's where Melander will go to work there. And behind him, working out of a pistol is Aaron Thomas. Long count, 2 wide receivers to the left. They go right back to the same play. The pitch pass to Dia Johnson, and this time the Spartans are there waiting for him. And the Spartans cut him down in the backfield. What a play by the defensive back. Coming in there was Luis Juarez. 5'8", 170, no quit on that. And how about what you do for an encore? Well, the Spartans were waiting for that one.
Yeah, Pulu was the first player there, slowed him down, and then Juarez coming from his corner position, the junior 5'8", 170-pound corner, chopping him down, and that is a heck of a momentum swing going from a touchdown score taken off the board to now 3rd and forever for Desert Edge. Great job by the Camelback defense.
Our first 12 minutes are ancient history. You're watching Thursday Night Football on the Zone 48 Broadcast Network, powered by Trey Clarkson State Farm Insurance. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, second quarter action here in Goodyear.
Turn my headphones down a tad. We're probably hot right now. We're hot, Cam.
Welcome back to Goodyear, Arizona. Kevin Derryberry alongside Cody Cameron on Thursday Night Football on the Zone 48 Broadcast Network. We know you have choices on Thursday night. We thank you for choosing the Zone 48 Broadcast Network. All right, now moving right to left, heading towards the north end zone. Ball spotted on the 25-yard line on the near hash. Millender remains in at quarterback. Back behind him is the tailback. That is Aaron Thomas. Long count. Spartans showing blitz. Here they come. And Melender's going to step in. He'll throw a dart down the middle of the field. The ball's caught for the touchdown. Oh, what a throw. A frozen rope to the end zone for Kezion Dia Johnson. And that play is going to hold up.
That's a heck of a play by Buddha Mulender. Stepping up, great job up front in pass protection, picking up the inside blitz in the B gap. And Buddha with an absolute strike. Going to get a replay here. Center picks up guard. All the edge rushers come in. Is Kezion Dia Johnson on the double move, a little corner post action, breaking his way to the middle, and a right in the chest bullet by Millender, and touchdown Desert Edge.
Dia Johnson, his second touchdown reception of the season. And, of course, That was the second touchdown reception of the game. However, the first one was wiped off due to a penalty. But the pass by Buddha, an absolute strike, as we mentioned, and that was good from 25 yards away. It's Deshaun Warner on the point after try, and he boots that one right through the uprights. So with 11:56 to go, and quarter number 2, our new score, Desert Edge 15, the Spartans from Camelback 0. And finally, the Scorpions were able to smooth out the edges here a little bit, work out some of those kinks, and get enough protection and pick up a touchdown.
Exactly where they wanted to be, right? 3rd and goal from the 30. But seriously, great job. It shows you how much firepower they have. And to be 3rd and goal at the 30, you got to pass the ball to score in a situation like that. Camelback's playing back, and Kezion Dia-Johnson double move creates so much separation, about 7 to 8 yards of separation on that double move, and an absolute strike by Buddha Melinder.
Yeah, I tell you what, Cody, he's a dynamic playmaker. Is Dia-Johnson. It'll be a lot of fun to watch this young man develop throughout the rest of this season. And of course, it's a season with high expectations here for Desert Edge. They believe that they belong at the highest level. They believe that they've got the talent here to play and qualify for the Open, and only time will tell. That 13-0 loss opening week against Centennial was eye-opening just to see the work that Desert Edge has to do to become elite.
100%, and that's just a big jump from 5A to 6A football. But the Carter brothers think they're there. They think they're right there. Like you said, you got to clean up the mistakes. Can't kick the ball out of bounds, as we just saw. But just simple mistakes they want to fix. Supposedly, they have a kicker coming in week 6, a transfer kicker, who is going to be phenomenal as well. So pieces, they got a running back, a couple defensive backs, a stud receiver. They got more pieces to the puzzle coming week 6. But until then, it's getting these young kids some play experience and getting challenged at practice every single day.
Deshaun Warner kicked that ball out of bounds, but we got to figure that Deshaun Warner is not going to Kansas to become their place kicker or their punter. So he's obviously the consummate professional here, doing what he can to be part of the team as far as fitting in and doing what the team needs to help and compete. And that's what Deshaun Warner needs to do, is kick the ball. And he's done a pretty darn good job of doing just that. It'll be a lot of fun to see how things shake out.
Heck, we had a poll on Twitter today talking about, top 2A guys in 6A and 5A football. And Deshaun Warner was on that list from the Desert Edge coaches. And watching the film of him punt and kick, they were saying at the showcase he was kicking 60-yard field goals.
Right.
Shows the athleticism and just missing. But even on one of the punts that they had earlier in the first quarter, a rugby-style kick, that Australian kick, rolling right, waiting to the very last second to kick it. But he can go at any time. If he sees a crease, like he did last week against Notre Dame, that's a heck of a weapon to have on 4th down.
By the way, back to your conversation about those two-way players, I'm guessing that Cody Cullimore of Highland was in that conversation.
And you would be 100% correct there, Kevin.
All right, here comes Deshaun Warner again. Back deep here this time. It's Jalen Gillis. Gillis looking for some blockers to the outside at the 40, 45, turns it upfield 50, and he'll be crossed out of bounds as he enters Desert Edge territory around the 47-yard line, but a nice return for the Spartans. Jalen Gillis, and trailing 15-0. They're going to ask Rocco Mortensen to get this football team back in this game.
That you could just see the dynamic playmaker that Jalen Gillis has, the senior 6 foot, 175-pound wide receiver, cornerback, doing it all. And Coach McDonough called him his best weapon. Heck, he has 219 receiving yards already this season, 5 touchdowns, had a kick return called back in their big win against Dobson. Do-it-all playmaker for the Spartans.
All right, 15-0, 11:48 to go from the 47-yard line. And this will be a run play, and there is nothing doing at all. How about the defensive effort for the Scorpions? Coming in to make that stop was Jalen Dawson, second time tonight that we have mentioned his name. In fact, Dawson was part of that scrum back behind the play a couple series ago. But for Dawson, all regions stand out again, an honorable mention player in the 5A conference.
And an all-state wrestler. His understanding of leverage, his power, he just knows how to play the linebacker position. One of the best in the 5A conference.
Mortensen on a play fake. Here comes Warner, and the ball is caught. And making the reception for the Spartans was Nathan Wingfield. And for Rocco Mortensen, he made that throw with Deshaun Warner. On the near side, it's Aiken Logan. Rocco Mortensen works out of the pistol. Wingfield will set up on the far side. Play fake for Mortensen. Here comes the blitz, and he gets sacked again. I'll give you a chance to guess who. 1-5. Deshaun Warner again, the second time tonight. He gets the quarterback. He gets the sack.
The University of Kansas commit is unstoppable here in the first 14 minutes of this football game, Kevin. Just such a fast move off the snap, eludes the tackle, dips inside, and drills the quarterback for his second sack of the football game.
Now 4 sacks on the year for DW. And if the Kansas coaches are watching the game tonight, oh, you got a good one on the way. To Lawrence. Holy John Warner. All right, back deep. Is that mail is to Ray Gibson. I'm Coach McNutt. I'm just not going to kick the ball to Andre Gibson at any time, no matter what the situation is. But that's just this coach. Mafu back formation for Sparty. 15-0. It seems like an eternity remains in this game. 9:05 to go in just quarter number 2. High snap and back to get it. And now running with the football is Mafu. And Mafu is going to be well shy of the 38-yard line of Desert Edge to move the sticks. And the Carter football team will get half the field to work with here. Excellent field position for Desert Edge, up 15-0.
Did you see the other Kansas commit, Jonathan Hall, full on, he won. First quarter was going there. Actually, good job by Camelback to fake it, get a little yardage, but Desert Edge's starting field position has been tremendous all game long.
Yeah, they're averaging right around 45-yard line of Spartan. 8:51 to go. Millender back, lining up to the right along the numbers. Desert Edge is Darius Lovera. In the slot to the left of Millender is Montevallez. Long count. Out of the pistol here. And it's a shovel pass to Montevallez with some speed. Spin out of a tackle into the open field. And he'll take the ball inside the 30-yard line. They'll mark him down on a shovel pass on the inside. Montevallez with speed and then spin move in the middle of the field. Wow.
Now the speed option here. If they show that as the option as the pulling guard comes into the second level, completely executed Desert Edge offense. And how about the spin move? Either X matters who you're using, but Montevallez with a big time gain for Desert Edge.
Montevallez with an 18-yard reception from Buda Millender. 4 wide receiver package now for Millender. Is back out in the flat, under pressure. Millender, deep ball to the end zone. He wants Montevallez, and we're going to get a flag in the end zone. With the coverage for the Spartans was Dontre Gamage. And how about the pocket that held up Millender? Really was able to just set up shop, plant his feet, and throw that ball deep into the end zone.
And I like the miss, too. If you're going to miss, you got to miss your receivers, especially with the speed and the out Desert Edge receiver. And they get the holding call in the secondary for Camelback. Is rolling in business once again.
Out on hand here for Desert Edge. Their stands are just to the gills here. Plenty of room for that fan base. Come on out. On the 10 and if you were heading out to two battle here. It's a meeting between Desert Edge and Camel on the 16-yard line. Working right. 4 wide receiver package. Millender's going to pressure. Final ball is down. It's Montevallez. Walker field around the 23-yard line. Let's see what this one's all about. They're going to say holding against Desert Edge. And this will be the third night. White
job of eluding pressure. The only negative to that offensively is when you're moving back and forth like that in the pocket.
Too
the
much
big
time.
fellas are going to grab. The big fellas are going to grab. Trying to not give up by Millander and the sophomore wide receiver who's playing like a seasoned vet, Montevalles. And tough, that is, I believe, the touchdown knocked off the board. And what I believe is the 70 in this football game. Scorpions.
Yeah, it's been tough, but Cody, you go back, other players do for you. And we talked about a guy like Justin Jefferson in the National Football Vikings and how that ability will open up the kids in the tight end, us and the newcomer out of USC. When you look at this offense here for the Scorpions, Keyshawn Dia-Johnson opening up for everybody.
Yeah, you have to. Why? The move corner post. That was a third. Because Zion Dia-Johnson, the UMass commit, creates a 7 to 10 yard separation on that double move. Got a bracket of that to do the part of the top, kind of Hawkeye him, or double wide out. Opens up their stud in the Desert Edge offense.
There are all studs across the board here. The tight end will actually line up as the in this case for, and that is Victor Chavez, who has one catch in tonight's game. Montevalles to the line numbers, and that man right there in motion, Dia-Johnson. High snap, they run it. No, check that. It's just an option back to Dia-Johnson with speed to the edge. He'll lower the shoulder and take on some contact. Pretty good put on him. That's an effort there by Cesar, but more trickeration and mission for the Carter's offense.
Yeah, great by our on-field camera crew, and that's the shotgun triple. Or Marcus Mariota and DeAnthony Thomas about 4 to 5 times a game. Shotgun triple, getting your playmakers to the outside. Great job by Buddha working the pitch relationship too with Kezion Dia-Johnson. Good pitch and picking up about 15 yards on that first and forever play.
Every now and then the photographer will get caught right there, but I think the broadcaster might have got caught on that play fake. Great deception there by Buddha. All right, back to work again, this time from the 12-yard line. 2nd down and 7. Johnson lines up in the backfield. He gets the call here on the handoff with some room, and he's going to walk into the end zone and score a 2nd touchdown of this football game. You talk about some speed, running behind those big hogs in the middle. No one can find him, and he waltzes in and scores untouched. His 2nd touchdown tonight.
Yeah, some down blocks by the offensive linemen. They pull inside, and just tremendous blocks up front. And you see the speed from Kezion for the gap, and he goes 0 and a matter of a sec there. That is an extremely talented football player. The UMass commit finding the end zone for the 2nd time of this football game.
How about those guys up front getting it done? Jalaine Miller, 300, a sophomore, a whole group of linemen. Some great executed blocks right there in the middle. And that was when you down and turn the degree of difficulty, some of the plays in this offense, in this type scheme, and this spread offense are challenging.
But it's also Mr. They have so much place. A player we haven't even talked about because he's not playing in this football game. Markai McKinnon, top in the entire.
Quite a collision around the 30-yard line. Love the idea for Logan. He is running with no fear and taking on all comers. You gotta like it when you embrace the hit and deliver a little lick yourself.
Yeah, you know, sometimes we always talk about this when we broadcast Chandler or Hamilton, and they play some teams that aren't at the top of the conference. Some of these teams lose the game before they even play, Kevin. I didn't get the sense of that when we were down pregame with Camelback. Not from the
Not at
coaching
all.
staff, not from the players. They were amped up to play this football game. Some stuff hasn't gone their way. They have played hard. I think defensively, they've made some really nice plays, especially in the backfield. Offensively, have to find some identity here in this series. I would run the football.
And they've made Desert Edge earn their opportunities. No question about it. All right. And at quarterback for the Spartans is Rocco Mortensen. He's gone all the way. This will be a run play, and they run it right up the gut.
Yep.
Running for the Spartans. That is Sean Pereira, 5'10", 180. A senior, he's their guy.
You know what that was? That was a positive gain. And now instead of being 2nd and 20, Kev, you have a 2nd and 6, manageable. The whole offensive playbook is open. Now you can run some of the RPO stuff you want to do with Mortensen, some of the play action, or go back and run the inside zone once again.
Why not repeat and do it again? We mentioned the 149 yards on 12 totes through 2 games for Pereira. That's a 12.4 average. He's got in the box twice. He's big play. Picks up 4, 2nd and 6 from their own 36. They go back to Pereira again, and this time the Scorpions are right there to sting them defensively. Nothing doing at all. One of the guys there playing downhill was Julian Gregory, and he had a supporting cast with him, Cody.
But even that, you could see the edge rushers for Desert Edge, Deshaun Warner and Jonathan Kamara. What they're doing, Kev, they're shooting straight up. They are shooting straight up and in shotgun formation, which Camelback is pretty much every single play. The natural drop back is going to be a 5-step, 7-step drop because you're 3 feet back. That goes right into the strength of this Desert Edge edge rushers when you do that. Running the football keeps them disciplined. It is also opening up holes. So watch some of this. If they go back in offensively and they say, hey, jump cut into the B or C gap, that's going to be open when you have both edge rushers just screaming north to get to the quarterback.
Speaking of defense, number 92, Sean Alator, also part of that last stop. 6'2", 245, has an offer from Idaho. 3rd down and 7 for Mortensen. Takes the snap out of the pistol, steps through some pressure. He throws the ball, it's loose, and I believe that the Scorpions are going to come away with the football. They've got it. For Desert Edge, coming up with the fumble recovery is Jalen Dawson. And up the near side, they've given him about 18 yards of coverage. He goes in motion to the far side. Behind the quarterback, gets the football. He wants to throw it. He wants to get rid of it to Melander, perhaps. And he's going to be grabbed and tackled from behind. Nice play by the Spartans. Tali Mafu did not buy any of the nonsense that the Scorpions were trying to display. Stayed home and ends up getting perhaps a quarterback sack on Dia Johnson.
Kevin, they were going home run shot there. That was going to be a toss pass, or excuse me, a fly sweep pass
to the quarterback.
And Kazion can throw. I have 7 on practice to know that kid receivers fake and go. They just a great job by the Camelback defense, and that was number 0, the junior Dejion Carter, getting upfield and make it uncomfortable. He flipped and turned around to try to go to Buddha.
Carter 6'3", fake. Johnson with a block. He goes 30 down the sideline, 20, 15, 10, 5. Another knee touch down of 2nd. And the things.
And that's a heck of a call right there by the back pressure and bringing the blitz into the boundary side. And what do they do? RPO quick, going to get a replay. Great kick. The guard Brody Wellman, 245-pound guard, kick out down. Pass commit.
20 touchdown has a touchdown run, and now a 15-yard touchdown. Buddha start things up. Touchdowns for Millender. Warner after try upcoming, and Warner boots it through, and this time he boots of the right, and that kick is looks like Montevaya has had a bit of a difficult time. Inside 5 here, and for the Scorpion, as anticipated, able to the defense of Camelback, but they do it in a big space with Dia Johnson.
play calling too. And like you said, it's all about getting your playmakers the rock. The Cutter brothers, since I've been in, they were out South Mountain my first couple of years of covering football. That's exactly what they did. They had a football player named Devontae Ingram who went to NAU, played for a couple of years. The same thing. Playmakers, get those guys the football as much as possible. They do a really good job of, showing different formations, getting the ball different ways and fly sweeps or speed options. And then in the receiving game, they have a ton of guys to do it, and they're getting it done right now.
For Buddha, with his 2 touchdown passes tonight, up to 37 in his career. Here comes Deshaun Warner. Warner, ball spotted upright in between the hash marks. Here comes Deshaun, and they'll put his toe to leather and boot this one over everybody and send that one into the end zone. Jalen Gillis couldn't make a play on that. And just what you're looking for, no return. And now for Rocco Mortensen and head coach McNutt, down by 28-0 score. I think he said it a little bit in that before the last drive. They just need to settle down and start running the football and start trying to earn some first downs here.
100%. And I mean, hey, look, right now, if we had stat sheet, I think those stats, Kevin, would say about -20 to -30 yards for Camelback, right? Your positive gains, been running the ball on first down. You're getting the edge rushers just to go right into what you're doing in the 5-step drop shotgun rise. So you set the line of scrimmage, play some precedents, get north to south.
Guy that was there, but Eod Self, also the primary guy there, 6'1", 240. Self took it upon himself to get to the quarterback.
Yeah, Deshaun Warner is so destructive. Great inside move there, right off the snap. Just he is faster than the offensive lineman right now. And then he blows past the running back who actually stayed in for max protection. And just the party in the backfield, the entire Desert Edge defensive line getting it done and dropping the quarterback for a 10-plus yard sack.
Yeah, Pereira is no match for Deshaun Warner on that inside pass rush. Give him a half sack there. He's got 2.5 on the game, 4.5 on the season. Out of the pistol. This is a run play for the Spartans as he slips the roll and then off the end. Tremendous run support is Draylon Dobbin on an outside line. 6'1", shoot carry. He got to him in a hurry.
Good, and that play could have busted in front of him, Kevin, and a great tackle by the Desert Edge defender.
In the middle of a football game, they lost. I know in the middle, Mookie Betts took a foul and left the game early. Don't here, Cody.
Especially when we got football in front of us.
All right, Rocco back to third down. On 4 snap. Pressure. He's going to himself break it and take on the linebacker. 5-yard line, but that was somebody had to pull by the horns here for this and trying to make a.
Coach McNutt, not a small football player, at the Rock. 0.5. Let's see, either front third is just creating
the deal. 255. He wears 60. At a 42 to the 45. It's 2 minutes. And now a action. It's hard to imagine there's 7 coaches during that, but you have to go back to 19. Great fame and bunch of, but Jeff led the 6 years back in 1960, and coach a little hint here. For Kevin, it's also BC.
It's a few years there. I think just talking to Coach McNutt before, and from the 21 here. It's kind of the program. He said the depth is really good. The size of our team. Teams, they top region 5A with her Mount 5A football. Toe with them. Lost in one of those against that going in the right way.
Now tonight, Bill Gatto. He's got nowhere to go. Suit to the special. On there, one of their line, Ezekiel, 6 foot, but wearing double sevens on. Get Gibson.
That to me is and I heard the sideline and coach probably screaming, "Don't get away, makers!" They're going to try to happen, and that's just trying to there to get from the game a little bit there, Kevin.
Yeah. For Denver, they're going to have this draw the 2-0 lead from the line. So they'll get their own. So tonight, 28-0. Parker will be having off. Montavalla's in the right, Millender at and Johnson line side. They go right back to most of started out of bounce was again his of the but if you're going to give him that state they
about there and then on continued to turns into a game with that even again they are 15 back.
It's just small for Melender and those Chavez, Sean motion other side. He's going to get sacked. White shirts. As football too.
Yeah, good cover. Buddha was going for a slot. Great job by some of the for the and actually play pretty a third and 20. Just haven't. It's not.
But take it first on all region and it looks like he's in on 50 under he had Checker.
Route with and his is big time.
With catch and Montavai
by sophomore receiver playing like
a back there. Ball near, and the ball is by you want
on the down on the miss.
Third down. Second. Is a perfect behind on Scott. Chop.
Cornerback reading the side. Throw.
Now they all with 30. Work for
Back.
This case break. And one week they all way.
Sophomore quarterback's balling.
So natural for foot one kicks on the night. For they say and foot job opportunity. All right, here. Place.
6 foot, 100.
Sideline 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Aaron Thomas from Buda Malender, 70 yards away. And Cody Cameron, that's why you take one more snap.
That's exactly how we drew it up here in the booth, right, Kevin?
No
Exactly
question.
That. But how about Aaron Thomas, the Saguaro transfer from last year, a player who the coaches challenged after he broke his arm on his second carry of his Week 6 start of the season last year. Got bigger, faster. He coming out of the backfield, catches the pass. Here he plays. Rolling right, step, finds wide open Aaron Thomas. Watch of the run right through would-be tap. Never stop. Down the side, houses it on the last play of the first half.
Touchdown pass number 3 for Buda Malender. And it's now 0 as Deshaun Warner on and tries to hold on. And that low trajectory kick is just above the and through. The final play of half number 1 is in the book as a 7-down pass. Millender to Aaron to try corner 2. Here we are at the break. It's 35-0 Desert. You are watching Thursday. We're going to take this fall more.
The world is changing. What gets done is changing. See how change bank changing world.
With any deposit checking at Bank, any amount, waive your monthly charge. Any deposit checking from Bank of the West.
I really I'll admit it. I'm a bath bomb guy.
Beth. No?
Who is that guy?
Beth. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome everyone to Sun City, Arizona, one of the fastest growing universities in this country, while leading a movement of service and leadership with purpose.
If I line up 10 kids today and say, why'd you choose Grand Canyon? 9 out of 10 will say it's the strength of the community.
I wanted to attend an affordable Christian university and a place I could truly thrive.
GCU, they opened the door for me when nobody else would.
GCU truly cares about students and alumni and wants to see us change the world.
Grand Canyon University is a champion of inclusion, community, and equal opportunity for all.
This is the College Tour.
Streaming now on Amazon Prime.
Jake from State Farm. Thanks for the great rate on my insurance, man.
Wait,
But I said Byron got the Patrick price? Thought that was our thing.
Thanks for the killer rate, Jake.
Shreddy Betty got it too?
Patrick, State Farm offers rates that fit anyone's budget, even my man Handstand.
Thanks again, Jake. Up top.
I'm gonna go work out these fillings.
For surprisingly great rates that fit any budget, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
Care Urgent Care is proud to be the preferred healthcare partner of the AIA. With over 40 clinics in Arizona and more than 135 locations nationwide, we are here for you with quality healthcare you can trust when you need it most. Our sports physicals, on-site labs, and x-rays will save your family time and money. And some of our clinics are open until midnight, 7 days a week. You can even check in online at Urgent.
What I'm about to say is important. Never let them call you the next Tom Brady. When they compare you to the GOATs, tune it out. When they say you're a 6th round draft pick, store it away. Compare yourself to nobody but the kid in the mirror. The one who goes all
The world is changing. How business gets done is changing. Energy, success, even the face of entrepreneurship is changing. See how we're changing at bankofthewest.com/change. Bank of the West, the bank for a changing world.
With any deposit checking at Bank of the West, you can make any deposit, anywhere, in any amount per statement. And we'll waive your monthly service charge. Any deposit checking from Bank of the West.
Jake from State Farm. I really want that personal price plan, so I'll admit it. I'm a bath bomb guy.
Dude, you do not need to get that personal. The State Farm Personal Price Plan simply helps you create an affordable price just for you.
For real?
Who's ready for their jazz bath? No?
Who is that guy?
Jazz, man. Call or click to get a quote today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome everyone to Grand Canyon University, located here in the sun-soaked city of Phoenix, Arizona, one of the largest and fastest growing universities in this country, while leading a movement of service and leadership with purpose.
If I line up 10 kids today and say, why'd you choose Grand Canyon? 9 out of 10 will say it's the strength of the community.
I wanted to attend affordable Christian university and a place I could truly thrive.
GCU, they opened the door for me when nobody else would.
GCU truly cares about students and alumni and wants to see us change the world.
Grand Canyon University is a champion of inclusion, community, and equal opportunity for all.
This is the College Tour.
Streaming now on Amazon Prime.
Jake from State Farm. Thanks for the great rate on my insurance, man.
Wait, but I said Byron got the Patrick price? Thought that was our thing.
Thanks for the killer rate, Jake.
Shreddy Betty got it too?
Patrick, State Farm offers rates that fit anyone's budget, even a man handstand.
Thanks again, Jake. Up top.
I'm gonna go work out these feelings.
For surprisingly great rates that fit any budget, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
Care Urgent Care is proud to be the preferred healthcare partner of the AIA. With over 40 clinics in Arizona and more than 135 locations nationwide, we are here for you with quality healthcare you can trust when you need it most. Our sports physicals, on-site labs, and x-rays will save your family time and money. And some of our clinics are open until midnight, 7 days a week. You can even check in online at urgentcareradio.com using our Wahoo service. It stands for Wait at Home or Office. Call us at 1-800-URGENT.
Box combo, please.
At Raising Cane's, we do one thing, and we do it better than anyone else. So why not let our food do the talking? Love in the window. Raising Cane's, only the best chicken finger meals. One love.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
This is the letter I've been telling you about. This letter is for you. From what I hear, you're supposed to be the next Tom Brady. What I'm about to say is important. Never let them call you the next Tom Brady. When they compare you to the GOATs, tune it out. When they say you're a 6th round draft pick, store it away. Compare yourself to nobody but the kid in the mirror. The one who goes all in, all out, and has the crazy confidence to know that who you are today is just a piece of who you're going to become. This letter's for that you, the one no one will see coming. Sincerely, Tom.
Live out your dreams, man.
You know the best thing about Raising Cane's? Well, we have fresh, never-ever frozen chicken fingers. We also have extra long, crinkle-cut fries. Then there's our crisp coleslaw and Texas toast. And, of course, you can't forget about our totally craveable cane sauce. But while all those things are definitely tasty, the best thing about Raising Cane's is simple. We don't make it until you're ready to eat it. Raising Cane's, one love.
Find a location near you by visiting raisingcanes.com.
Welcome back to Goodyear, Arizona. Kevin Derryberry alongside Cody Cameron. Cody, tomorrow night on the AZ Preps 365 Game of the Week, Dan Minucci and I will have the call for Millennium Lamar Early and the Perry Pumas led by their head coach Joseph Ortiz. Don Tinsley's group, huh? Boy, he's a dude.
A big-time dude in the backfield for Perry, team that's put up 1 million points. They beat Spring Valley last week. I think it was 66-6.
Yeah, they just scored again.
Ooh, man, they just scored again. Yeah, Perry put it on them. I think Coach Ortiz in year number 2, kids are bought in, had a whole offseason with those players. Ton of talent on that football team, but no surprise, it's a premier team with 1 million students on campus and a coach that likes to score the rock. He's always been a tremendous offensive coach and head coach at his years at Cactus. And then adding that, plus the coaching staff, to a premier team, Kevin, match made in heaven.
Yeah, you got to appreciate the premier region, no doubt about it. Joseph Ortiz now, and I believe that's just year number 2, 4-7 a year ago. Not much to speak of a year ago. It's a much different team. All right, it's 35-0. Kazion Dia-Johnson put on a show in that first half, and we are underway. They're not going to give the ball to Andre Gibson, and instead they'll kick it to other members of that group, including the man that just had a chance at that one. Zion Holland. Zion. Nope, check that. Nah, really? 2-3 or 3-3?
3-3. Gerald Johnson.
There you go. We just heard the PA announcer here on campus. Jarrell Johnson on the return, and he took it into Spartans territory, and this is where the Carters are very familiar with beginning drives. A short field again for the Squirps. They'll begin this drive on the 37-yard line, and if you're Coach McNutt, that's not how you can get back in a ball game here in the second half.
No, you squib it to not kick it to one of the most deadly returners in the game, and
I get
second, that. But the second line takes it to the 35, and yet again, tremendous field position for Desert Edge.
From the 37, they run it right up the middle, and trying to find his way for extra yardage was Aaron Thomas. Hey, he got the touch to end the first half, took it 70 yards, took it the distance. That was the final score of the first half, and then he gets the ball here. His first touch of the second half is a 4-yard power run up the middle.
Yeah, tremendous first half, not only running, but his ability to catch out of the backfield, make plays, big-time plays, especially the one that ended the first half.
And there he goes again, Aaron Thomas. Looked as though there was some misdirection beginning to form, and kind of a funky time for the line to rise up, but they all did it in synchronicity, and they were able to pull that play off without any movement. Gain of 5. Now it's second down, make it 3rd down and 1 from the 30-yard line. Molender will run it again, and running it is Aaron Thomas, and this time he gets cut down. In fact, he's chopped down there by Tali Mafu and company. Penalty marker on the play. Surprise, surprise, Cody Cameron, another flag.
Yeah, there's one thing that Desert Edge is, after this week, going to go back in is clean up the penalties. And Coach Carter, he admitted, he said, hey, we have some young players at some key spots on that offensive line. He had 4 guys who had not started a football game at the varsity level that started against Centennial a couple weeks ago. Inexperience showing a little bit, especially in the holding, getting a little grabby in that inside and outside zone. But once again, they settled down in the second quarter, put up some massive points.
Mark and Marcus Carter took over this program in 2020. They've been here for now their 4th year, 26-8. Another run up the middle, right back to where they came from, going to Aaron Thomas. And Cody mentioned earlier in that first half, Coach Thomas began his career at Saguaro High, played for Jason Mons. It's interesting when you see a player leave a program as tradition-rich as Saguaro to come out west here.
Yeah, what the Carters were telling me was, hey, he was a DE kid. He grew up out here in Goodyear, Avondale area, played through their feeder, went to Saguaro, realized I want to come back home, transferred last year, and is balling out, making the most of his junior situation.
4th and 5. Melander steps through the pocket, dumps it off over the middle. The ball's caught, and taking it into the red zone and inside the 5-yard line is Darius Luvera. A little run after the catch. He might be a little slow to get up, and it'll be a first down on 4th and 5. It was Buddha to Luvera for the 1st and 10.
It looks like he got his feet stuck under the tackle. Gonna get a replay here. Nice job by Buddha stepping up once again, finding the open receiver on 4th down. Darius has done a great job of finding what we call the soft spot in the zone, dragging the defender as he's picking up more yardage. And yeah, he gets that heel and ankle stuck at the tackle. Had a good replay shot right there, getting inside the 5.
They'll put it down on the 3-yard line. Unofficially, 29-yard pass play. And remaining in at tailback in the left hip pocket of Buddha is Aaron Thomas. Melander back towards the bench with the call, and now we're going to get a penalty marker thrown. It'll be a delay of game assessed to Desert Edge. Look around the stadium and the playing surface here. I don't see a play clock visible, so it appears as though that tonight's play clock is being kept on the field. And I'll tell you what, Cody, that was a quick 25.
I was going to say, and there was an injured player. And so I don't even know if they restarted the play clock at all there, Kevin. But backing up, and, you know, it just gives Desert Edge a little bit more space to do any of the counters and misdirections that they like to run down here inside the red zone.
Boy, when Aaron Thomas has the job till now, but when Markai McKinnon gets here, watch out. Melender's going to keep it. Melender the 5, and he's going to get taken out around the 3-yard line. An absolute textbook form tackle put on there by the Spartans. In this case, it was Calvin Miles doing the damage and doing the dirty work, and he denied Melender a chance at the goal line for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the evening.
And like we said in the first half, Buddha Melender is not a small football player. Listed at 6'3", 195 pounds. He gained 10 to 15 pounds of muscle this offseason, participated in track and field. Like I would say about 80% of these football players did at Desert Edge. Carters do a great job of pushing multi-sport athletes. It's a heck of an athlete at quarterback.
And they run it up the middle, and scoring a touchdown for Desert Edge is Aaron Thomas, his 2nd touchdown of the game. This one comes on the ground. It's 3 yards away, and Desert Edge has gone up 41-0, point after try upcoming.
Untouched junior tailback, 6 foot, 180 pounds, shoots up the A gap. Great blocking up front by the Desert Edge beef, and Thomas punch it in for 6 on the first drive of the second half for the Scorpions.
It's 41-0. Deshaun Warner was in on that play as well, out as a wide receiver. There's not a lot of things that Deshaun Warner can't do. So here comes Montevallez to hold for DW. We started to talk about Markai McKinnon. He is going to bring a tremendous back here, a 2,000-yard career rusher. And Markai McKinnon. The Deshaun Warner point after try is good. 7:04 to go. 3rd quarter, it's 42-0. And right now things are looking pretty good for the Desert Edge Scorpions. They've got a lot of playmakers here. They have a lot of guys that are going on to play at the next level. But they've got to figure out how to play these next 8 games and get better from week to week.
I've liked the play calling all night from the Desert Edge coaches, but coming out of the second half tunnel, it's pretty clear what they wanted to do. They want to set the line of scrimmage and go north to south. They have a running back like Aaron Thomas. Like you mentioned, they're going to get some serious depth at the running back position come week 6. For Aaron Thomas as a junior tailback, it's probably going to be your backfield 2-star as a senior next fall. These are awesome opportunities to get game reps as RB1 right now, and heck, add some serious depth come the second half of the season. And when McKinnon gets there, it is going to be one of the best 1-2 punches in the state of Arizona.
Jalen Gillis back deep along with Aiken Logan. It's Gillis this time to the 20. Bounces outside of the 25, and he gets tripped up. Running down there to make the tackle on special teams was Tony Beardy Jr., 5'11", 165, a junior, and that was a nifty play. Cody, do you spot an infraction? And there's looks like one of the Scorpions is down. Let's see if we can't identify the injured player. 6:50 to go here in the third quarter. It's 42-0. First half action, well, it was one man that really dazzled, and that was Kezion Dia-Johnson, was involved in 3 touchdowns. How about a 25-yard touchdown reception, I think it was a 10 to 12-yard touchdown run. In fact, he did it twice. He had one call back. And then that 39-yard TD reception over the back of the end zone. It was Melender all day long. He picked apart the defense, just dissected him perfectly, and then threw another strike for another touchdown. He's now accounted for 4 touchdowns tonight is Buda Melender.
And Kez has been unguardable. You know, he has really been unguardable one-on-one situations. He is creating 5 to 10 yards of separation just naturally. The thing about Kezion Dia-Johnson and his UMass commit, to me, and just covering recruiting in the state of Arizona, I would not be surprised if some heavy-hitting Power 5 programs are coming into Desert Edge during this eval period that started September 1st. And while coaches have buys and as they get towards the end of the year, when they come around Desert Edge and they come to these schools, I would not be surprised to see some of these Power 5 programs, some of these top-tier Pac-12 teams offering Kezion Dia-Johnson.
No question about it. Love to see Kenny Dillingham head over here and how about an offer? Well, you look at Desert Edge, just historically and what they're able to do, this is a prolific, high-powered, high-octane type of offense. They can throw it as well as anybody. They rush it as well as anybody. 5,100 yards a year ago, 427 total yards per game. These guys coach them up with balance, Cody.
Yeah, they do. And like I said, the play calling, too, has been amazing. And we're going to get some replays here of this offense and the misdirection that they do, a lot of the RPO schemes that they run inside the red zone. You know, they're keeping teams on their heels, on the 40 and 50. When they're in the red zone, they're so dangerous. I think a lot of times you see offensive playbooks kind of condensing. You know, when you get down there, right, the field gets shorter. For them, they're working the hash. They're utilizing the field, all the different formations. They're doing a great job of getting their athletes the ball in space, and not just their receivers. The quarterback play, Buda, they're getting him in RPO rollouts and putting him in position for him to throw the ball or take it in with his legs, and that's a 200-pound quarterback going downhill. That's a scary sight.
Cody, the injured player is Blaze Brocious, a wide receiver, 6 foot 175, and it took him a while to be able to find that feeling in his shoulder, perhaps. Perhaps he took a stinger, but he tried to get up, but then had to go back down again. So he walks off under the field under his own power. 42-0. Here our score. Aaron Thomas with a couple of touchdowns, including a 70-yard touchdown reception. And he's in the box. And it's 42-0. And Coach McNutt will go back to another quarterback. He'll go to the backup, quarterback 2 for the Spartans. We saw him warming up, and that was Angel Neria. Neria, just a sophomore at 5'9", $150, but we saw him in pregame, Cody, and he was delivering the football, throwing BBs all around.
Yeah, they have another freshman quarterback, too, Mason Penrod, 6'2", 200 pounds, who Coach McNutt is extremely excited for. Their senior leader, their senior quarterback last season, Coach was telling us he had multiple D3 and NAIA offers. Now he's at Western New Mexico.
Western New Mexico with another 4 or 5 quarterbacks on that roster. So, hey,
college football.
Let's go out there and find an opportunity and find a way to the top. Edge going to some of the reserves in the secondary. Inside 6 to play. This is Neria on the quarterback keep, and he runs right in to the teeth of those black shirts. And that group was led there by Brian Sims and friends. For Sims, 6'1", 190. And right now, just thinking about what's ahead next week, Higley, for the Carters, you want to get out of this game as healthy as you can now. The game has been decided. Let's get some guys some reps. Let's get some guys some confidence. Let's play penalty-free in the second half and get out of here with a dub.
That's why you see a lot of the twos in defensively for the Scorpions. Great job by the starting unit on defense. I think they had 5 to 6 sacks in the backfield. Seems like half the plays that Camelback was running, those edge rushers, the D tackles, and their linebackers were just causing havoc all night long.
They really were. They were having their day. From Alator to Deshaun Warner to Kamara, they all were effective. Ground game again here for the Spartans on third down. Not much doing there for Pereira. Defensively in the vicinity for DE was Brody Willis and friends. Willis, a senior, 6'4", 180. That's that free safety. That's a good-sized young man playing tackle football out there for you.
Like I said, you go up and down this roster, just the size and the frame, and a lot of coaches in the state always, they've said that about Desert Edge, but in terms of just the way they lifted, their approach to the off-season lifting, I know the Carter brothers they're harping on that, said, hey, if we want to go toe-to-toe with the top teams in the state, we think we're an open team, we got to lift and prepare like an open team. That's what those kids did this offseason.
And so much of that success is happening right there. It's a snap back to the outback. He hands it off. They get it to Pereira, and they string him out, and he will be denied. What a play by the Scorpions. Out there taking his player edge to edge. That was Trey Ross. Trey Ross playing with the twos here. A nifty play, and Desert Edge will get the football back on a turnover on downs. And we might be seeing Tyrell Husband here. The work for Buddha Millender is done for the night. 42-0 running clock here with 3:17 to go. Our first look at Tyrell Husband, 6'2", a junior, 190 pounds. Takes the snap, they run it to the tailback, and the tailback gets himself to the second level, and running with a little power is Isaiah Sesma. Sesma, 5'8", 155. They just keep reloading with the athletes, Cody.
And when you look at the classes, you would expect, okay, maybe this would be a junior, a sophomore. No, these are seniors. These are seniors that are putting the time and the sweat and the effort in on the practice field, getting some good reps here.
And there's Sesma again, sweeping to the edge, turns the corner and moves it up the field, and finally will be dragged out of bounds right near the 5-yard line. So again, Edge approaching the green zone here, staked to that 42-0 lead.
And setting the line of scrimmage, great seal block by the right tackle for Desert Edge, and Sesma with a big gain on his second carry of the night.
Deuce is carrying the rock. He gets the call again here, bounce it outside to the 5, and Sesma scores a touchdown. Isaiah Sesma rumbles into the end zone and puts another 6 points on the board for DE.
Here's the replay here, Kevin. The right side blocking down, seal block by the H-back. Sesma finishes it with a punishing rumble into the end zone. 3 carries for Sesma, gashing the Spartans defense for 30-plus yards on 3 carries, finishing it with the touchdown.
First touchdown of the season for Isaiah Sesma, and that was a punishing run as he finished the run, blowing up the defender in the corner of the end zone. And unfortunately for one of the members of the Spartans, he took a brunt of that shot, and he is now on one knee. So with 2:16 to go, our new score is 48-0 as they attend to one of the fallen Spartans here. We'll get you that player here in just a moment. The fallen Spartan is Calvin Miles, who was very active in the first half, and it looked like Sesma got the best of him as he finished that run in the end zone.
Yeah, a powerful run by Sesma. Once again, the identity of Desert Edge in this second half was to pound the football, set the line of scrimmage. They had Buddha throw, I would say, guessing about 15 times in that first half, put him out in some RPO, action 2 rollouts. Second half agenda, run right at Camelback and create the and set the line of scrimmage, dominate the line of scrimmage. And Kevin, they have done that here in the third quarter.
Cody, when you look and see what the Spartans have and how they will play the rest of the way, they got some talented wideouts. we mentioned Knight and Gillis and Logan. All three of those guys north of 450 yards. They all had scored touchdowns, multiple touchdowns. So they return the majority of that passing offense from a year ago led by Martin. And now this is the Rocco Mortensen offense. So you look down the schedule here for Camelback, and they're going to have a chance to perhaps have some success in the 5A Metro region as they move on down the road.
Yeah, like I said, they were 1 point away from beating a Cactus Shadows team at Cave Creek. Cactus Shadows home field by 1 point, and that's a team in the toughest region in 5A football. So it's a talented team. Desert Edge just absolutely rolling here tonight.
Snap is back, and the kick is blocked. The Deshaun Warner point after try is no good, so the Spartans block the kick. Not sure why they stopped the clock, but they did. Fun fact for you, Cody. You mentioned Cactus Shadows High School in Cave Creek, Arizona. That is where this guy made his any kind of announcing debut. My nephew was the defensive end playing for Cactus Shadows. My sister had heard enough on the PA system. She called me up over the weekend and said, Kev, would you please come down and do PA for our game next week? I know you can do it. Please just do it one time for me, your sister. And I did, and the rest is history. We went PA to broadcasting, blah, blah, blah. Here we go.
Are we going to say a year? Is a year going to be put out?
So this was, well, I mean, I've been doing this now for 20. So yeah, it was a couple years ago. My nephew's now, 37. He's a dad, works for Tesla in your area, Pleasanton, California.
There we go.
Yeah, you guys would hit it off, Cody. All right, 48 nada. Deshaun Warner swings that right leg through, and he blasts it again. This time it will go into the end zone. Nothing doing for Aiken Logan. And, yeah, we go back to, Pleasanton and the Bay Area right there. Another city starts with an L. It's right in that stretch.
And so all the West Bay.
John Madden is from that area, right?
Yes, he is.
Starts with an L.
From Pleasanton.
Maybe that's where it's from. Those cities, they all go in a row right there.
They do. Well, there's a ton of them. That's why you go San Francisco, San Jose, going down to Santa Cruz, Monterey.
That's the question to ask. Where is John Madden from? What's John Madden's hometown? That is where my
Quick
nephew,
Google search will.
My nephew resides there now, currently. All right, so it'll be Nira on for the Spartans. Back in the day, Camelback had a tremendous football player and basketball player. His name was Kevin Minifield. Now working at Arizona State, or was at one point. Kevin Minifield, an absolute standout on the hardwood. Had one of those mega triple-double games, 31 points, 21 assists, 20 rebounds against Chaparral a few years back. That was one of the Terry Carney days.
Have answer for you. He was born in Austin, Minnesota, but they did move when he was young to Daly City, so not quite the
Livermore is the city,
okay, there we
right?
go.
Is that
yeah.
like along that?
Livermore is around there. Daly City is South San Francisco. So he was born and raised, not born there, born in Minnesota, raised in Daly City.
All right, the late great John Madden.
Fantastic coach.
That's what my partner Cody Cameron does. The type of work that John Madden did, analyst, top-notch analyst work. Final 60 seconds of quarter number 3. And they run it to Pereira, and he finds some tough sledding on that left side. Too many black shirts there to speak of. Led by the big fella, Jamar Spalding. And when I mean big, how about 6 foot 235 big? We're number 97 down there.
That's a big boy. Defensive line has been eating tonight, Kevin. And like I said, you see the depth of this team. Another player, Brian Sims for Desert Edge, 6'2", 200 pounds. Big kids up front. Even at the 2s and 3s position, we look at Desert Edge's schedule, especially we'll break that down in the fourth quarter. To me, just watching this, knowing what they have coming into week 6, they're in pretty good shape here in 5A.
They are. Last 11 seconds of our third stanza here in Goodyear. This is the freshman quarterback now here for the Spartans. And he's pressured, and he gets sacked for the backside. First one there was Brian Sims from the outside. And he was sandwiched on that play.
Yep, just mentioned him saying the depth on this team.
Jake from State Farm. I really want that personal price plan, so I'll admit it. I'm a bath bomb guy.
Dude, you do not need to get that personal. The State Farm Personal Price Plan simply helps you create an affordable price just for you.
For real?
Who's ready for their jazz bath? No?
Who is that guy?
Jazz bath? Call or click to get a quote today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And we're rolling. From his own end zone for the Spartans is Ezekiel Delgado. And he'll punt this one, a high, spiraling, booming punt. There's nobody back. That would have been the ball for Gibson. And instead, the ball will be touched down on the 32-yard line. You don't want to risk anything else at this stage. For the Spartans, they've made the postseason in 15 of the last 70 years. I mentioned earlier, this is the 71st year for Spartan football. And currently, for the Spartans, they're on a 21 straight year drought of making the postseason. So this is the year that Coach McNutt hopes that they can. And Cody, when you look at the schedule, obviously they're going to drop to 1 and 2 here after the win over Dobson. But you get Cesar Chavez in Levine, and for the champions, we don't know what you're going to get from week to week. This is a really troubled program right now, just dealing with all that off-season tragedy and turmoil, and now, you know, how do they focus on playing the schedule in front of them? But Chavez, Arcadia, that's going to be quite a game on paper. That's marquee within that region because of the rivalry. Here comes Sesma again, and Sesma, Blake tackles still on his feet and proven to be very difficult to bring down Isaiah Sesma.
I love the way Sesma's running as he's finishing all of his runs now as he gets some carries here. Going back to the Camelback schedule, so you mentioned Chavez, and they've split. Their first game to open up the season was against the Chandler Wolves. Could not have a worse draw, especially the offseason that Chavez had, that stuff. They come back last week and just obliterate Westview. I think they won that football game by 45-plus points. And so Chavez is a team. Oh, they're a team that still has so much talent, and it's a jump to 6A for Camelback. So next week, that's a tough crossover game.
Another impressive run from Isaiah Sesma as he took a shot out of the secondary. Dontre Gamage, who had an interception on Buddha Melender earlier in the game, with a nice defensive play there on Isaiah Sesma, who is running really, really hard, running with authority. And Coach Carter said, hey, we got depth. And after that, we got a guy behind them. And then after those two guys, we got two more guys. This running back room is very impressive with Markai McKinnon on the way.
Yeah, I'm shocked just by the explosiveness of Sesma. And he's just finishing every touch with some serious explosion.
He'll get the call again here with speed to the edge. Turns the corner, cuts it back inside into that second level, spins out of another tackle, still on his feet down the middle of the field. He'll take it to the 35-yard line. What a dazzling run by Isaiah Sesma. We'll call it 24 yards unofficially, the best run of the night for Isaiah Sesma. All of that to go with a touchdown run.
Yeah, outside zone here, gets to the outside. And watch the spin move, spins off a would-be tackler, keeping the ball high and tight. Defender tries to punch it out. Sesma keeping it right on the chest plate. And that's 3 consecutive runs for Sesma, looking good.
Tali Mafu tried to strip the ball there, and then Sesma again with another powerful run as if he's just running right downhill, taking on all comers in that secondary. Gets to the secondary again, and he'll pop off 9 more. Let's see where they put the ball down. No, they're going to just give him, it looks like the 7 here. But that forward progress had him there a couple footballs ahead.
It's just north to south running, punishing running too, outside zone, inside zone. And he is just get rock and go, man. This is a really impressive showing in the second half from the senior tailback.
Fired up, playing with that high-octane petroleum. Isaiah Sesma gets it again here, lost the football, and he'll recover his own fumble. Didn't quite get the exchange from Husband. That's Tyrell Husband. Interesting last name. Husband, 6'2", 190. Threw a couple of passes last week. Check that, he did not. Let's go back to that schedule. So this is a pick 'em game. Camelback and Cesar Chavez a pick'em game, or are we thinking that maybe?
I'd say it's a tough game for Camelback. I
Yeah.
really do, just naturally going up. But Arcadia, now that Arcadia's a 4A team, they got a 6'5" quarterback that can sling it, but because of location, Camelback versus Arcadia, that's a huge game in that community.
A little
right there.
nastiness.
It is a little. I like it though.
Yes.
I like that. It's a fun game.
3rd down and 7 from the 33-yard line. This is going to be Husband on the quarterback keep, trying to turn the corner, and he does, and he'll just gallop out of bounds and be good with that. Looked like he tried to change the football from his one arm to the other, from the right to the left. See if he does. He did just that. The transfer midstream. Nice work there by Tyrell Husband. And they'll be just a little bit shy of the line to gain. It'll be 4th down, and we'll call it a long 3 for Tyrell Husband and company. Outside, lining up is Travion Dixon. And it will be the quarterback on the keep. Bounce it outside to the 20. And he will finally get taken down as he brings the football inside the 20-yard line. They'll mark him down around the 18-yard line. How about a little quarterback keep for Tyrell Husband? A very similar play that we saw from Buddha Melender all evening long.
Yeah, and great job blocking on the perimeter, especially from the offensive tackle and the receiver stock blocking. And great job by Husband finding the seam and just tucking ball away and going, picking up another 1st down. The second unit for Desert Edge, they are working right